Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the places where, I mean, murders have been happening way out of control in Chicago among the African-American community for far too long and not really reported in the way that they should be. It's amazing how black lives don't seem to matter when they're taken by black lives.
Right.
But I mean, now Chicago, my friends who live there say it's not safe anywhere.
Yeah, it's very sketchy. Very sketchy.
And that's Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago used to be great. It used to be easy. It used to be a great city. I mean, it always had problems in some areas, but I mean, even those areas. I had a conversation once with a driver who was a former cop, and what he told me is that they arrested all the key drug players, and then there was a power struggle, and things got way worse. He's like, their idea was like, go in, arrest the big kingpins, and then we'll clean up the city. It didn't work at all. The opposite had an effect. It was the opposite effect. There was way more crime. He said it just got way more violent.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of the murders that happen are over nonsense. You know, somebody dissed you on social media or made fun of your sneakers or some shit. I mean, some of it is drug turf and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think some of it is just bullshit. And I don't understand why there isn't a more concerted effort to shine a spotlight on that. And where are the leaders of the community? The people who would have such cachet among those young African-American men, because that's who's killing each other, young African-American men, to say, cut it out. What the fuck are you doing killing each other? If there was a concerted effort by people in the music industry, people in sports who they look up to, wouldn't that have an effect?
I don't know. You know, at this point,
worth a try?
Worth a try, sure. Worth something. I mean, something needs to be done. I'm not the guy to figure out what needs to be done, but something needs to be done. It should have been done a long time ago. I don't know what that answer is, but no answer is not the answer. And continuing the same policies that got you in the same problems and just defunding the police officers and making things far worse and then not course correcting, that's not the answer either.
Right.
It's nice to talk about politics. It's great. I would hate to be one of those fucking people. To be an actual politician and be responsible for all this shit. And also to come in now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they are the easiest people to target because, of course, they have to kowtow to what the voters want, and the voters are completely contradictory. So I do have some sympathy for politicians, because if you ask the voters what they want, they will basically say they want every sort of goodie that the government can provide on a Arizona tax base. They want a Swedish social net on an Arizona tax base, and that's just not possible.
And then the answer is always tax the rich, which is like, well, that doesn't help incompetent government. They have more money. It doesn't help them.
Well, I mean, I think that's why you moved here, wasn't it?
No, I moved here because they were locking down the city, and it didn't seem safe, and it seemed very sketchy, and I just didn't agree with what they were doing. The more I talked to doctors that were experts in respiratory diseases, the more they were convinced there was no way to stop a respiratory disease. They're like, this isn't going to do anything. In fact, it's probably going to damage people's immune systems because they're not going to be around other people. They're going to be filled with anxiety. They're going to be locked in.
I couldn't agree
isolation,
more.
depression.
No, I was always making this case on real time, and you know, people thought I was crazy, and I'm sure they think you're crazy, but they're crazy, and they don't know anything.
Well, they're definitely wrong. If you talk to virologists and epidemiologists that aren't captured, that don't have to deal with whatever Fauci and the NIH tells them what to say, and if you talk to those people, they're like, well, first of all, you should be telling people they have to lose weight. They have to lose weight. It was the number one comorbidity. It was a giant factor.
I think something like 75% of the people who were hospitalized or died, yes, we're obese. But of course, in this country, we're so through the looking glass on the obesity issue that even mentioning it is some sort of a hate crime.
Right.
I mean, it's it is so Orwellian. And this is, again, a topic I've covered many times, and there is nothing that garners me more hate than this. No issue. No issue. You're just not allowed to talk about this. And it's preposterous because, first of all, if this is truly a life and death issue, we can't talk about the one thing that more than anything else is causing the death. But it is Orwellian. Terms like body positivity.
Yeah.
There is nothing positive health-wise.
Yeah.
Now, if you think it's beautiful, great. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But science is not.
No, it's not. And honestly, it's not even beauty.
Hey, woman, since your man ain't got no heart, why don't you go to our apartment tonight? I'll show you a real man.
There you go.
What? Fuck you.